Hello and welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Today I'm going to show you the exact things that help me stop emotional eating and lose weight faster. Hi, my name is Dr. Grant and I want to share with you what worked for me. Losing weight can be really tough, but after many years of trial and error, these are the things that finally got me on track. Let's get started. First, I stopped pursuing unavailable people for friendship, praise, and relationships. Second, I stopped waiting on someone else to change, apologize, or provide me with something in order for my life and mood to improve. Third, I stopped being nice to the wrong people. And fourth, I stopped avoiding confrontations and conversations. So let's deep dive into this, get into the meat of it, shall we? Cool. So on that first thing I did, stopping pursuing unavailable people for friendship, praise, and relationships. Now, let me expound upon this and unpack this a bit for you. When you stay in a relationship or friendship with someone that cannot give you what you want, subconsciously, we are reenacting a past behavioral pattern where we didn't get what we needed. And because this pattern at a base level feels familiar, wait for it, it feels safe. We modify our neurological makeup for the very thing that we said we didn't want. We modify our body's receptor sites that are cascading all throughout our body for the very thing we said we weren't looking for. Now, there are steps to undo this and learn the lessons that happen from the past without jumping knee deep into the emotions of it and become a wreck. And that's one of the things I enjoy about teaching women in my food addiction and emotional eating VIP sessions, because we get to unpack that and dissolve it. Now, let me get into number 2. I stopped waiting on someone else to change, apologize, provide me with something for my life and mood to improve. Now, this was the hardest yet most important thing that took me from those sneak binge attacks to stopping binges in their tracks. And this is what helped me lose weight without starving, because once I began to identify my pattern, and most importantly, once I began to identify what their pattern was and or is, it allowed me to see through, and you can too, the manipulation, both overt and covert, that was being used in order for them to get their needs and wants met, yet my needs, and perhaps your own needs and wants, were not getting met. Which, if you are an emotional eater, food addict, or stress eater, starts that cycle, a domino effect of that feeling guilt, shame, that's a new word, isn't it? And you wind up binge eating or emotional eating or giving into food cravings. And I want to help you stop that. Third, let's get into number 3. I stopped being nice to the wrong people. Everyone doesn't deserve your compliment and praise. This is your life. You only have one life, one go around at this. Choose who can be, should be, is worthy to be your consort. This is your place, sweeties, ladies and gentlemen, your life. You don't have to put up what you don't want. You can sidestep conversations that feel unpleasant. Now, this doesn't give you license to be a donkey's rear end. But what it will do is it'll stop you from losing yourself. Now, how to do this? Uncovering what lurks behind every insecurity and challenge what is the engine that's driving that narrative. Now, I go deeper into this. There's really not enough time to, in this episode, cover this more in depth. But I go deeper into this, into my VIP days and my 2-day accelerators. And we come out with a plan of attack that you can take with you, hold on to, refer to, and make sure you're strengthened by. So not only do you achieve your goals in your personal life, your finances, spirituality, relationships, but, well, the weight loss and the stopping emotional eating is just a lovely, lovely natural side effect. Let me get to number 4. I stopped avoiding conversations and confrontations. Woo, this is a big one. When you avoid conversations and confrontations, this equals avoiding setting boundaries. The problem is getting in the way of a fulfilling life. I can't begin to share what it was like for me in those moments when I would eat uncontrollably at night after everyone had gone to bed because it was the first time I could be alone. But then I would feel so down on myself because I would the next morning look in the mirror and I didn't recognize the woman with the swollen belly looking back. Now, for some of you, that may be saying that it's hard to avoid conversations and confrontations once you get started. You're right. Once you get started, it is harder. It is honestly the equivalent of asking someone to stop a bus, but it's already headed downhill at 50 miles an hour. Now, what if you got out ahead of it? I mean, all of it. You started your morning with a divine EFT tapping sound bath, our morning edition. This tells your brain, I'm boss. You place a guard at the door of your mind and you calm your nervous system down and you train it to stay calm. Then when an argument, problem, confrontation comes, you see it coming. And just like that bus that would have headed down a hill at 50 miles an hour, you never let that bus or that argument gain momentum. You see? Why? Because you stopped it at the top of that proverbial hill. It never had a chance to gain speed or momentum. Just like that conversation or confrontation that was boiling and bubbling and brewing with that loved one, that liked one, that family member, that never happened. And the end result? Improved relationships because they know where they can go with you. Like I said before, it's a training process for both you as well as the person. It certainly was for me. I'm not saying this addressed itself overnight. This took years and years and years of experience. However, I have helped people in my wellness practice in a much shorter time that it took for me. It took me years and years and years, decades actually, plus a psychology degree, a doctorate in psychology degree, plus several certifications, training in hypnotherapy, everything related to the mind, epigenetics, you name it. But instead, I condense everything down from years to weeks. Now, I will admit, the concept of this, it may feel a little painful and uncomfortable at first, but when we choose to see the ocean of possibility that this opens up instead of the bucket of limitations, your world and the possibilities and everything you can accomplish with this power totally expands. Now, are you tired of trying to lose weight or stop eating and emotional eating and failing? Well, my Phoenix 6 method, it is a tailor-made approach using your life as the foundation to your solution. A combination of career strategy, psychology, sound baths, tailored cooking plans with step-by-step cooking classes, personal training, yoga, social media marketing, all created for you to solve your problems. You can finally stop emotional eating or food addiction for good with our unique program that uses all aspects of your life as a foundation to solving these issues. No more cobbling together solutions from separate places with their own respective price tags for each. Our program solves All of this in one place at an affordable rate. Definitely make sure to join us today and click the link in the comment section or send me a private message if you want to easily and simply transform your life. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the Dr. Grant Show. I can be reached on edibleaddiction.com. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with my story and why this show is being created for people that struggle with food addiction, emotional eating, binge eating, stress eating, obesity, or just need to lose a little bit of weight. This show is for you and has been created for you because I lost my mother to food addiction, emotional eating, and obesity. And I felt powerless. And when we lost her at that time, we couldn't at that time even find a normal sized casket to bury her in. And after everything died down, my light bulb moment happened that even though my mother had lost the weight once, over 40 pounds once, and gained it all back, plus 3 times its friends, I began to realize that emotional eating and stress eating and losing weight, we've got it all wrong. And that's the reason why I created something wonderful in the form of a scientific study that helped women across the world actually overcome the urge to give in to food cravings. And even though this wasn't the goal of the study, a psychological study, they lost weight. And the secret to this was using their lives as the foundation of the weight loss efforts, mixed in with psychology, which helps reprogram the mind. We don't even really discuss food because the reality is once we fix and address the root of your problem and what's challenging you and holding you back, everything else just naturally dissolves and goes away. And that just makes embracing the healthier behaviors, like the eating the right things and working out and embracing fitness, it makes it so much easier, especially if you have someone that can guide you in the right direction with tailor-made one-on-one support and custom solutions. Anyway, there is not enough time for me to talk about all of the wonderful clients that I have helped with my wellness practice. But if this is sounding like what's missing in your life, definitely make sure to reach out to me privately or log on to edibleaddiction.com. And don't forget to leave some comments right below. Much love to you. My name is Dr. Kirsten Grant.